Matt from Search Engineers asked to get on my vlog, and it was kind of last minute, so I met him in a parking lot, figured I'd fill up with energy for my EV. Couldn't find the chargers, but he met up anyway with me, and we chatted. It was a fun conversation. I hope you enjoy it.
Awesome.
Thanks for going for a drive with me. We're trying to find the Electrify America stations.
Yes, we were at the wrong one. We went to the EV Go, which is not Electrify America.
Matt.
Yes,
so
sir.
You work at a company called Search Engineers Group. Am I pronouncing that right?
Correct, yep.
And how long have you been doing that?
So I've been doing it for about 2.5 years now. Search Engineers is a small agency. It's my agency. So I'm the founder. We work with e-commerce businesses and service-based businesses.
Cool. And you've been doing the whole search marketing thing for how many years now?
So about 2.5 to 3 years now.
2.5, 3 years.
Yep.
What made you get into it? What was your history in terms of work?
Sure. So now I started right at the beginning of the quarantine pandemic.
Okay.
Right. So I worked for another company, not in marketing at all, was fired, actually, admittedly, due to performance reasons. I was not good at it and I did not like it. It was not for me. And I had my sights set on just building an e-commerce brand. I actually started marketing my music. So I at the time was in music production, just making music, house music, things like that. Started marketing my music. Once I started to get some traffic, I said, okay, I got 50,000 hits on this song.
Right.
If I had a business, an online business that sold something, and I was able to find relevant traffic to that offer, I would start to make some money.
Right.
And so from there started an e-commerce business, got that off the ground, started to drive some revenue, and here we are.
Awesome. So now you have an e-commerce business, and now you still do that, or you're doing the marketing and you're doing both at the same time?
So I actually sold the e-commerce business in April of this year. So April 2022, sold the business.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, thank you. So got a nice little exit on that, and from there just been doing client service work.
And is that mostly on the PPC side, or?
Yeah, so I'm mainly PPC. So I've done some SEO. I haven't done a ton, but I would say mostly what I could speak to, how I grow my businesses and the client service work I do is all PPC.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so you pretty much got in when they just started transitioning to Performance Max.
Yeah, so I have been doing PPC for a few years now. So before Performance Max came into play, so I was actually doing it before Smart Shopping was a thing. So I did not grow my own business with Performance Max. But I have done Performance Max for a lot of my clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any specific topic within Google Ads? I don't know if you sent me any topics, but usually I asked beforehand, but this was kind of last minute. So
yeah, no, we're winging it. Let's do it. I'm ready.
What specific topic do you want to talk about specifically in Google Ads?
Yeah, so Performance Max, it's funny. I thought that was a good segue, actually, to get into Performance Max. So I have some ideas for some things that I've been doing with some of our clients as it relates to Performance Max, and I was interested to hear your experience as well.
Okay.
So now I think Performance Max really works the best when we give it enough data.
Yeah.
In the beginning, right? So I actually haven't seen much success without giving it adequate data.
Right. That's the thing for sure. I mean, Google has said on record that it surprisingly needs a significant amount of data for it to actually do its magic.
Right.
But yet Google downplays how much data it needs.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising. Google should really just say it really needs a lot of data. But
right.
I think it also depends on what it knows about the industry beforehand.
Right.
So I think you're right. It does need time to work. It needs more budget sometimes.
Right. It does.
So,
it does.
But I'm glad you found that too. That most people are saying the same thing.
Yeah, and it's weird because I'll through talking to our Google reps, they'll tell us there's a 2-week learning period.
Right.
And Google reps, we love them, but it's a love-hate relationship maybe. But from talking to them, they'll say, okay, it's a 2-week learning period. You're going to get off to the ground in X amount of time. Truly, I've seen the most amount of success when we've given it more data. We actually had a client give us an email list that they had obtained from a third party,
right? Something
like Apollo or like a lead generator tool, and it worked great. It was amazing. So it worked really well. So they were they're a company in Texas and they gave us that list, and we went from seeing like such a small percentage of qualified leads to a much larger percentage.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so how many people? So going back to your company in terms of that, so how many clients have you pumped in with this Performance Max to see plug in and like let the matrix do its thing? How many clients are you currently working on with Performance Max side approximately?
Man, so it's probably around 6 clients that we're working closely on Performance Max with right now.
And have you been surprised by its success, or it depends on the client?
Yeah, it depends on the client. So I was really surprised. The company in Texas I talked about.
Right.
I was really surprised to see their success.
Okay.
I was surprised to see how well it worked when we gave it more data. That was really the only client that I'd really been shocked by.
Okay.
I was really curious to know your experience as well. Have you seen, what's your overall morale when it comes to Performance Max?
So I do test campaigns constantly. I don't have an agency. So people think I run an agency.
Okay.
Just so people watching, I have a web development company. We do software development.
Okay.
I specifically I don't take money for SEO or PPC from companies.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want that to bias what I write, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and just in the history, you've seen people say, Google has this new policy. Maybe it's around local reviews, or maybe it's around SEO, maybe it's around PPC. And they say, no, this is a way around it, and it's allowed. I don't want, if I had clients that are using certain strategies, I don't want to bias my writing.
Right.
That being said, I cover everything that PPCers and SEOs are doing.
Awesome.
And that is definitely what you're saying in terms of PPCers being surprised.
Right.
Is, I think, most, at least old school, and also new PPC paid search specialists are saying the same thing. They are surprised by the success they're getting from Performance Max because it's like a black box. You put some data in. You let Google take the data and let Google run with it. And it seems to work for a lot of people.
Yeah, some people. So that's why I was curious to hear your experience. Everybody's experience is so different, and I think it's such an interesting topic of conversation because it's really Google's like new product that's really not fully rolled out. Right, like Smart Shopping was such a more refined product. Like it was such a more tried and true product. We're seeing a lot of e-commerce clients transition from Smart Shopping to PMax, and they're getting killed.
Right.
So that's what I'm seeing. I'm curious to hear what other people are seeing. Anybody in the comments or, feel free to please let us know.
Like
what
the video, comments, subscribe, smash that, whatever.
And I'd love to connect with everybody. I'm still always learning and growing. As much as I am a professional, at least some days, I'm constantly learning. So please,
it's
anybody
funny.
else.
I just met one of the videos before this would be from Menachem Ani, and he's been doing PPC since right when Google Ads launched in 2002, 2003.
Right.
And he still says it's all about learning new things. Meaning you can't just
That's right.
You can't just say I did it this way, I'm always going to do it this way, especially in the search marketing world. It's always trying new things.
Right.
So honestly, you start 2 years ago, you start 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You all are on the same playing field because Google's constantly changing.
So true.
And it's relearning and relearning and relearning.
It's so true. It's funny, when I sold the e-commerce business and started focusing a lot heavier on client service work, like I said, Performance Max wasn't a thing when I was growing my e-commerce business. Right. So when I transitioned to more client service work, people would be like, oh, what do you think about Performance Max? And so here I am, I'm like the guy that's like, I got this experience and I'm this. And they're like, and I'm like, I have no idea. So I had to go and try. And, really, there's always new things that are going to be unfolding. I think the people that have the most advantage are the people that might not have ever done it before, because they're looking at it with totally fresh eyes.
Right.
And, when Google rolls out a new product, they're going to give it a shot before anybody else who knows. So
you're dead on, for sure. What else? What other topics interest you in the whole Google Ads space?
A topic I've been really interested in recently